had an executive session to discuss the interim manager of Holiday Island. And we came to the conclusion that I, Larry Stamps, will take on that obligation for 90 days.
We need a motion.
And I need a motion on that.
I make the motion that you be appointed interim manager for a period of 90 days.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that's what it will be.
Okay.
Actually, okay, commissioner comments.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a comment that in the years I've been on the board, starting my 8th year, the first 2 or 3 years we had workshops. Those were the third Monday of the month, and we would have fire department come in one time, we'd have roads come in, we would talk about the different things. We'd have workshops, and there were no action taken. We couldn't approve anything, and public, I'm looking at 3 or 4 people who were here during a lot of those. We used to have the podium over here, and it would be lined up over there by Mike. 4 or 5 people wanted to speak. And I don't know how many people are out on YouTube or the Zoom, but we're not getting the comments that we used to get, which I think is very important for those of us elected to the board. So the third Monday of January is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I think that's a federal holiday here with all of our employees off. So we wouldn't be having one, I wouldn't recommend having one that day. But in the following 2 or 3 months, I'd like to have a workshop on the third Monday. And I think there's several things we need to really go into detail about. The budget, the auditor is coming on the 22nd of January to finally, we have the audit and the board members have received it and reviewed it, but we need to ask questions about that. And as a result of that audit, there are things we need to change financially. And I'm just speaking for myself. We need to cut costs.
Ken, will our accountant be here for that next
Yes.
meeting?
Yes. I talked to
Jennifer? Jennifer will be here?
one of them will be here, but we want,
No,
usually it's
no.
the lead CPA.
Huh?
No, not Jennifer.
Not the accountant, the auditors will be
Landmark.
here.
Auditors.
The auditors will be here to present the,
Rogers.
through.
Yeah.
I understand who the auditor is. I just wonder if our accountant here should be asking some questions about the audit.
Yeah. Well, I would turn that over to the district manager.
I think I would request that she be here, yes.
I think so. She knows more about this than we do, and we're paying her a great deal of money.
Yeah.
She ought to be the one asking the questions on our behalf.
Yeah,
She provided the most of the
Anyway,
information to the auditor.
And audience, if there are things, even out on YouTube, if there are things you'd like us to bring up on a workshop, please call one of us or email one of us. I think it's very important to get your input. We've got a lot of experience here. We've got a lot of people that know a lot. Engineering, legal stuff, management. We need your help. It's a lonely job up here for zero pay. The other thing is, some of you have heard about a lawsuit. We cannot comment about a lawsuit. We haven't even seen the actual paperwork on it yet. We're going to get it today, I believe. So as much as you would like to ask us questions about it, we don't know anything and we have to contact our attorney today. But so don't ask us because we don't know anything and we can't tell you anything. Okay? Thank you, sir.
we held up the public comments earlier, said that we would wait until after we had the executive session. Is there any public comments that anyone would like to make? Yes, sir. Ken Mills?
Barb Coon.
Ladies, Barbara.
I'm not Ken.
No, you're not, you're Barbara.
Barb Coon, 62 Holiday Island Drive. Just a quick question about this interim manager deal. I know that as commissioners, you cannot talk to each other one-on-one without being in a meeting. Manager now, the commissioners can't talk to you about things?
Well, I think one at a time can. I don't think, I
I
don't
don't
think,
think so, I think that's
well,
against the FOIA.
we'll take a look at
Yeah.
that and see.
So you may have to be calling more workshops or public
Yes.
meetings to discuss things.
Yeah, we may have to do that.
Bill's when you practice out circle. I was just going to add a comment on the workshop. I was on the board for a few years, and all that time, we had a procedure that we went through on the probably the third Monday of the month. We'd have a workshop, and we'd cover all the items that we were going to work on, and we would have a valid discussion on them and get it ironed out, and then we'd have the board meeting the next week, and you were, at that time, it was, you know, most of the items had been discussed and adjusted and everything, and so it really worked well, I thought. And I would like to see you go with that procedure.
Thank you.
Larry, I'd like to make a comment.
Go.
I think it's advantageous that we have that. I can't talk to anybody on this board, whether it was, so here, I don't know anything. So I've talked to some other board members that are past board members to try to get a little history on Holiday Island, because I don't know all the history. And for me to make a proper decision, I need to know those kind of things. So that's the thing I think is these workshops would help me a lot, and I'm sure it would help Randy too.
It'll
Some of
help
you
all-
guys know a lot more than I do.
It will help all of us.
Yeah, it would help us, and but I know it has to be public, but it's just simply just a workshop. There's really not gonna be a whole lot of, I don't know if you would allow public input on those meetings. And I think, if somebody shows up and wants to say something about the rec center, or say something about the roads, I think that's proper. Okay, thank you.
I agree, and I think what Ken Mills brought up, the workshop should be a relaxed atmosphere where anyone can talk, and there's no 3-minute limit and all that. Just get up and express your ideas. In the past, I've been to these workshops, it's very stuffy and stiff, and nobody says much of anything. It's gotta be a much more open, relaxed atmosphere.
Yes.
And I assume that's what Ken's referring to.
I agree, Randy, Mr. Chair. The other thing I think we could do is when we have an engineer or someone who's trying to sell us something, that those presentations can be done then, not at the fourth meeting of the month. And we can take longer than, as long as we need. When we're spending $1 million on some building or a well or whatever, we need a lot of time to discuss. We need to talk to that person. And if that person's not doing the job that we expect, we may need to go and get another firm, okay? I think we've just been with the same auditor. We're 13 months late, or we're late several months on the audit. We talked here about going to an RFP for audit. If our engineer is not doing what we need on certain projects, we may need to go out and get another engineer. Our $1 million is just as good as any other Rogers or Bentonville $1 million, okay? So I agree with Randy. It can be just a give and take. Take as much time as you want, less than an hour. Like that. And I think it'd be a good idea too. Thank you.
Okay.
Just for the.
Yes, sir. Yes, Don.
Just for the record,
We need a-
will you be receiving a salary in this 90-day period?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other comments? Yes,
Did we approve the minutes?
I thought we did. You
Okay,
didn't?
that's what I
Okay.
thought you were saying.
Oh, okay.
Steve Crowe, 6 Horseshoe Drive. I just briefly wanted to say that I 100% agree with Mr. House in his earlier statement about when we go to hire a full-time district manager. But one other thing I would say is we got a ton of people in this community, just like y'all mentioned, that are past business folks, have played leadership roles in business, previous government. We need to find somebody local, if at all possible. We need somebody with some skin in the game, somebody that lives in this community and and is focused on Holiday Island, not, as he said, building a house somewhere where to retire. We're bound to have people in this community that have that expertise that can do that. And I would just encourage the board to put a premium on that if it's someone that's local and actually lives here and has skin in the game. Thank you.
Thank you. We did not approve the minutes, I understand. Has everybody seen the minutes of 12/18?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 12/18/23 regular meeting minutes which we've received.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. now
Done,
there's-
Sherry.
Now, anything else? Yes,
Can I make a comment?
yes, you may. Yes, Grace.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment here at the end, that we hear much about, how you're gonna, or if you were gonna go after a new district manager, actually start the process to hire a new district manager. I hope that you are, putting the ads in the appropriate places, that you will consider the salary of that person rightly. And also, but I think it's very important that we have a real district manager in our future, because I don't think it's fair to Larry or whoever, if it's a commissioner doing the job, because it just causes some issues of working on the board together. So I would urge you to proceed as quickly as possible in actually hiring a full-time district manager. Thanks.
Thank you. That's probably going to be the first thing that we do, and the first thing that this is my thoughts right now, but I would like to put a committee together, very capable people out here to come up and help design a ad that we can, the requirements that we're going to require for that manager, and get them all together and get everybody's thinking in the same way, and then we'll go out with and try to get somebody that, like Mr. House said, that knows a little bit about this and a little bit about that, and we will go from there.
Commissioner Stamps?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm pretty sure Carrie still has the ad that was run 3 years ago when we were looking for district manager. And we don't need to reinvent the wheel. If she has all of the paperwork still in place and the addresses for who those things should go to, and I think if we start with Carrie, we would have, she could probably get us on the road a whole lot quicker than forming a committee. I think it's imperative that we get started on this.
Well, we will get started on it, but we will do it the best we can.
Well, I'm saying we have a starting spot.
Okay, yes, okay.
I'd like to comment on what Mr. Crowe said, that as a board, we've already talked about this residency requirement. We're not hiring anybody to live in Pea Ridge or somewhere else to run Holiday Island. So I think already we're understanding what the public wants, and that's what we're gonna get. Thank you.
Also, my comment, Larry, is we belong to the municipal league, and Linda, I think you're going again next week to their annual convention.
Yeah.
But at your own expense, I might add. I think that they are, their ad, their bulletin, their magazine, I guess you call it, goes to everybody in Arkansas and other states as well. So if there are people well qualified, they'll send in their application, and the committee that Larry's going to set up will look at them carefully. But we're paying the fee; we should get their services as well. We've, there's there's headhunters that we're not going to do that. They're very, very, very expensive, and we don't need that. This committee that Larry's going to set up will come up with a really good candidate. So let's use the group that we're paying for.
Well, and there are also places like LinkedIn. I think we can put our own ads on. I don't have a lot of experience with that, but I know somebody out there knows how to hit these job search engines, so we can do more than just an ad in a newspaper. We
Yeah.
need to get some real good coverage in municipal employee job search engines to find, electronics are the way everything in the world goes, so we need to start with that type of thing.
Okay. Is there anything else, any other comments? Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Agenda scheduling.
Oh, and, yeah. Okay, yeah, we need to schedule an agenda. We'll work on that this week.
No, just the schedule. The next meeting is January
22nd.
January 22nd.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.